Tubers, I get the call last night that Little Joe's 2001 four-cylinder Camry won't start. So this morning I run over, give it a jump, starts right up. But as I'm looking at the car, okay, I'll show you what I see. First thing I notice is the reservoir tank right there was like empty. And I'm just leaning over and I squeeze the tube, too soft. And then I sat here and whoosh, 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 whoosh. So I look, you can see where it's been leaking. There you go. You can see if you look close, some little bubbles. Basically right through here, it appears the radiator has cracked. Well, I went on YouTube, I watched some really nice videos, much better than anything I think I could make. So I'm going to make a video just because, in case I run into something interesting. But the long and the short of it, very simple. Disconnect your battery, drain your fluids, disconnect your wire connectors, fans come off, and the damn thing comes right out. Now there's some drain shit and stuff on the bottom, but everything comes from the top and it seems to be plenty of room. Okay, here's where we're at. I've taken out the battery and I've disconnected the top radiator hose and I've disconnected this other little hose. Because the thing was leaking so much fluid, there was nothing in here. This hose was empty. I'm getting ready to drain. Okay, I can see it right here. The drain plug. And there's a hole in the thing, so I'll put the drip pan under there. Getting ready to drain the radiator. And I'm going to unplug all these little electricals. Alright, for these little wire connectors, all I've been doing is putting a screwdriver, pushing in there and pulling them apart. It takes two hands, so I can't show you on camera, but they've been sliding right apart with a little pressure right there on that button. In order to remove the two fans, it's really simple. There's just two nuts at the top. You got one, there's one more there, Hoss. Okay. Yeah, that one's also got to come off. And then the fan literally just lifts up in your hand and comes out. Don't drop anything now. That's the trick. Here, give me the wrench if you don't need it. Now one hand hold the fan, one hand hold the bolt. Now just lift the fan right out without breaking anything. Easy. It's that simple. Well, the only thing left to disconnect for the final disassembly is these three hoses. The big fat daddy there. Then there's this small hose right there. And then this other hose. And I believe those are the transmission cooling lines in and out. So I got to be ready to plug some transmission stuff. Now the other thing you got down here is this temperature coolant sensor. And I can't figure out how that unplugs, but when I look at the wire, it traces all the way back to this unplugged end that was hooked into the fan connection. So I'm going to leave that right there and just take it out and look at it when I'm up the top. Well, I got to tell you, this has been one simple repair. I just got done dropping in the radiator and connecting the hoses. I've actually changed the hose clamps to the screw kind, because I was putting the other ones on, you could still wiggle the hose. I want a hose that's snug, so I've changed the clamps. And the only thing I got left is bolt on the fans, plug in some shit, fill it up, check the fluids. Remember, check radiator and check your transmission fluid, because that's what those bottom two lines are. Alright tubers, we've run into a problem in the reassembly. Radiator dropped in really nice, and if you look down there you can see there's the holes where the bottom of the fans sit in. Well, the problem is, in the original radiator, those holes also had matching little dimple holes. Okay, so what I've got on the bottom of the fan is I've got the stud, there it is, and then I've got two dimples. Here, Hoss.
Okay.
Just keep filming me. So, with these little dimples in place, the fan won't go down far enough to let the top bolts line up. So, like every good mechanic, I'm going to destroy things a little bit in order to make it work. Because this is what happens when you get aftermarket parts. They're always close, but they're never perfect to Toyota parts. Okay, come on over here, Hoss, and let's see if this works for us. At first I thought it was the radiator hose that was keeping me off my lineup. There we go. Oh, now that's a perfect fit. There you go. And as you can see, when I grab these little bolts, they just line right up and thread in. Okay, you can cut it. Hey tubers. Well, I got the job done, and the boy took the car, didn't even really wait for me to finish it up. Biscuit here is wild as hell, and she doesn't want to stay. But it was a pretty bolt-on, bolt-off. A lot of people on YouTube did much better videos than me. This one was broken right here, had a crack in it. The only difference between what I bought at AutoZone and the factory one is the factory one had these little extra holes here and dimples on the bottom of the fans. I showed you where I broke those off. Now, filling the radiator, I didn't have one of those fancy funnels or anything, and because of air bubbles, I seemed to had to drive the car a little and then stop, let it cool off, top it off with fluid until I finally got all the air bubbles out. That was last night. Now the boy took the car. I haven't seen it this morning. I would have liked to, but I'm guessing everything's fine. Who knows? It's better than it was. A radiator and a battery, and he was on the hook for $225. Not bad. Really. Not bad at all. Okay, so this has got to go to the dump or somewhere. And hey, I want you to see something. Oh. Close the pine cone. Check it out down here. The old plate. As you can see, we're a little torn, broken, but we're not out of it. Now, whether the cops will pull me over or I need to get a new plate, we'll see. I pounded it back straight, and I'm going to pop rivet the little brake part, the broken side over here together. Damn. That'll teach me to be more careful around trailers.